What if I told you that one of the greatest heists in history involved the Eiffel Tower? No, really. In 1925, a man named Victor Lustig illegally sold the Eiffel Tower for $70,000 as scrap metal. And here's how he pulled the same trick twice. Today, that money would come out to be worth over $1 million, only he never actually had the scraps to sell. Amongst public rumors of the Eiffel Tower's demolition, Victor gathered some of the biggest scrap metal dealers into a meeting in Paris. He told them of the city's plans to take down the tower and told them he could sell them the scraps. But the famous tower wasn't actually going to be destroyed. After narrowing them down to the most gullible, he found his man. And who was that man? Meet André Poisson. Poisson was relatively new to the metal scraps game and made the purchase. Poor guy. With money in hand, Victor fled to Austria and waited to see if Poisson would go to the police. Just as Victor suspected, out of fear of embarrassment, Poisson never said a word, and Victor was in the clear. So he began scheming on how he could pull his stunt again. From a young age, Victor was known at school for being smart, like really smart. He took his smarts, including the several languages he learned, and set out for a life of crime. This involved a quick pit stop in gambling, and this is also where he picked up a scar on his face after a jealous boyfriend caught him flirting with his girlfriend. So Victor took his talents to ocean liners sailing across the Atlantic, and this is where his life as a daring con man took off. He pretended to be a Broadway producer, getting unsuspecting passengers to invest in a brand new, if not completely made up, musical. By the time they realized the play wasn't real, he was long gone. Following this, Victor sold boxes to people that he claimed could duplicate money. He'd demonstrate for them, hope it operated, which took about 6 hours. Then they'd buy it for thousands before eventually realizing it's just a plain old box. Following a number of other scams, including one on Al Capone, this brings us to Austria, where Victor was sitting pretty with $70,000. After seeing nothing of his con in the papers, Victor set off for Paris once again to pull off the same con. Like the exact same thing he just did. Crazy, right? Only this time, he didn't get so lucky. After finding a new man to sell his Eiffel Tower scraps to, the police caught on. Victor escaped to the United States, where he was eventually caught and died in prison. A sad ending to a devious, if not impressive, run of scams. If you enjoyed this video, follow Gleek.com for more on the crazy world of money and crypto.